Hi students, today we are working on page 653. This is chapter 9, lesson 4, and in this lesson we are going to be comparing shapes. So let's start off by reading the bottom directions, so please follow along with me. Use attribute blocks, circles, squares, rectangles, and triangles. Place the shapes that have 4 sides on the left fence post, right here. Trace the shapes. Place the shapes that have less than 4 vertices on the right fence post. And then we're going to trace the shapes, or we're going to draw the shapes, right? So we're going to be looking at, I'm going to draw them up here just so we know what shapes we're working with. We're going to be working with circles, squares, rectangles, and triangles, just so we know the shapes. So let's start with the circle, okay? Right here on this left fence post, they want the shapes that only have 4 sides. So right now we're only looking at a circle. So does a circle have any sides, first of all? No. So the circle may not go on this fence post because they only want shapes that have 4 sides. So the circle needs to go on the right fence post because over here it says less than 4 vertices. And a circle has no vertices. So I'm going to draw the circle over here. Okay? So we figured out the circle. Now I'm just going to cross it out so I know that I already placed it somewhere. Now I'm going to look at the next shape. This is a square. And a square has how many sides? Well, let's count. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it has 4 sides. So where do you think it's going to go? Is it going to go on the left or on the right? It'll be on the left. So I am going to draw my square. Make sure it's a closed shape, right? Okay, so now that we did the square, I'm just going to mark it off so I know I already did that one. And now I'm going to look at the next shape. This is a rectangle. And let's find out how many sides a rectangle has. So help me count. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, it has 4 sides. So is it going on the left-hand side or on the right-hand side? Remember, 4 sides. Shapes that have 4 sides, they will go here. Shapes that have less than 4 vertices, they go here. That means they have 0 or maybe they have 3 or whatever it is. But if it's less than 4, they go here. So a rectangle has 4. And so because it has 4 sides, it's going to go right here. Okay, my rectangle. So I did my rectangle and I'm just going to mark it off so I know I used it. And the last shape that we have is a triangle. So how many sides does a triangle have? Well, let's count. 1, 2, 3. A triangle has 3 sides. Well, it has 3, and because it has 3 is less than 4. It cannot go in this column where it says 4 sides, right? So it has less than 4, which means it's going to go right here with its buddy, the circle. All right? And that is the end for this page. So now we are going to flip it over. And we're going to read the directions or the rules that they tell us up here before we start. It says, you can compare and sort 2-dimensional shapes. So for example, it says, circle the shapes that have straight sides. So notice how this triangle, it has straight sides, right? They go in different directions. So go ahead and trace the circle. Remember, a circle has no sides, right? It's round. So we don't circle that circle, right? Because it doesn't have any straight sides. The rectangle, though, it does have straight sides on the top, on the bottom, and on the edges over here, right? So we're going to trace the circle for the rectangle. And then we're done with this one. Now let's look at the other example that they give us. It says circle the shapes with more than 3 vertices, more than 3. If it has 3, that's not the shape that we want. We want a shape that has 4 or more, okay? So let's start by looking at this first shape. It looks like a square, and let's start out by counting. So ready? 1, 2, 3, and 4. It definitely has more than 3. So go ahead and trace the circle. Now let's look at the next two-dimensional shape, which is a rectangle. And let's start out by counting its sides. So ready? 1, 2, 3, and 4. It does have more than 3. So I will trace my circle. And then the last shape that we see here is a triangle. Remember, we want the shapes that have more than 3 vertices. So let's see how many vertices this triangle has. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, it doesn't have more than 3. It has 3. We want something that has more. So because it only has 3, this is not the shape we want. That's why it's not circled. Okay. Now let's look at number 1 down here. And the instructions tell us to circle the shapes described. So it tells us shapes with 4 straight sides. Okay, let's count. Ready? 1 side, 2 side, 3 side, 4 side. Does that one have 4 straight sides? Yes. So we are going to circle it. The next shape is a circle. Remember, circles have no straight sides. They have no vertices because they are round two-dimensional shapes. So a circle is not the type of shape that we're looking in this case. Now let's move on to the rectangle. Let's count its sides. Remember, we're looking for shapes that have 4 straight sides. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is also another shape that we're looking for. Next to it, we have a triangle. So let's count the sides of the triangle. 1, 2, 3. Triangle has 3 sides, but we want shapes with 4. So that's not one of the two-dimensional shapes that we need. Now let's look at the other object. Ready? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 4 is our magic number, right? And so this one has 4 sides, and it's definitely the shape that we are looking for. So I'm going to circle it, just like that. And we're done with number 1. Now let's move on to number 2. And we are looking for shapes with 3 vertices. 3, not 4, 3. So let's start with this first one. Let's count its vertices. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. This is definitely one of the shapes we want. So I'm going to circle it. Now let's do the next yellow shape. Ready? Count with me. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It has 3 vertices. Okay, the next shape that we see is a trapezoid. So let's count the sides. Or I'm sorry, vertices. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, no, almost, but not quite, right? We need a shape that has only 3 vertices. This one has 1 extra. We don't want that one, right? So now we move on to the next shape. Now let's count the vertices on this one. 1, 2, and 3. This is the shape that we want. And the last shape that we see here is a circle. It's round. Because it's round, remember, it has no straight lines, so it does not have any vertices, so that's definitely not a shape that we're looking for. So we're all done with number 2. Okay, moving on to number 3. Shapes with 4 sides that have the same length. Okay, 4 sides, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. 1, 2, 3. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yes. Circle, no. Number 4, shapes with 3 sides and 3 vertices. So they have to be the same. So a circle, nope, it has 0 sides, 0 vertices. A trapezoid, nope, it has 4 sides and 4 vertices. A triangle, 1, 2, 3, and 3 vertices, so yes. A square, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sides. We need shapes with 3 sides, so nope. And a triangle, 1, 2, 3. Yes, it has 3 sides and 3 vertices. All right, friends, we're all done. Good job.